everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. Today I am bringing you the breast cancer awareness poncho that I've been working on. I did upload a small short 2 days ago, and this is actually what I'm working on. This particular poncho is for a girlfriend of mine who is a breast cancer survivor, and so I decided to work on a poncho for her. And as I'm working on it, I'm going to share this with you so you can start yours as well. The month of October is the month for breast cancer awareness. If you have anyone you know that's been affected, make something for them. It doesn't have to be a poncho, but I think this poncho is perfect as a gift. And so you can make this. It's very simple, as a matter of fact, but the tutorial assumes you know the basics of crochet. Make sure you know how to do a double crochet, chains, and a puff stitch. We're going to be working with those three. You will need a 4-ply yarn. I'm currently using Premier Yarn's Just Yarn Worsted. I got this from the dollar store. If you have a dollar store next to you, this is actually impressive. It's 109 yards, so at $1.25. With taxes, we're looking at about $1.35. Regardless, if you get 4 of these, that's over 400 yards for about $5-6, which is the same amount you would pay, or if not more, for a 400 yards yarn from a Michael's or any other yarn store, which will be more expensive. So grab some of these. They're really good. It's thick. It's worsted, but very thick and soft. And I absolutely loved this pink. When I saw it, I thought, oh my God, I'm going to get that for my project. And that's what I'm doing. So we're going to be working on this particular poncho. It's not done. I'm working on it. I'm pretty much halfway done. And that's the short that I posted 2 days ago, if you look at it. So I'm going to be working on the project with you. We're going to get started today. We'll work in parts. We're going to start on the body. And then the next session will be for adding the fringes. And then we'll work on the neck portion next. So I'm going to have a 3-part portion for this particular project. So stay with me. We're going to start the project today. Get yarn. I'm not yet sure how much yarn I need, but you're going to need upwards of 1,000 yards. So if you go to the dollar store, grab 12 of these. I grabbed 12, and I think they will be enough. And if they're not enough, I can always grab some more. But they have them at the Dollar Tree or any other pink. Michael's or Hobby Lobby has pink, breast cancer pink. Grab one of those and let's get started on this. You're going to need a 5.5 millimeter hook. I have some in my shop. If you don't have a hook set, I'm selling some. I have a 3-pack that has a 5 millimeter hook, a 5.5, as well as a 6 millimeter hook, right? You can order one. I ship free anywhere in the United States. My shop link is in the description box below. You're going to need a pair of scissors to cut off your loose ends, as well as a darning needle to sew in your loose ends when the project is done. Okay, so without much ado, let's go ahead and get started. To get started, let's go ahead and make a slip stitch. And we are going to chain 72 chains. '71 and 72, and then what we're going to do is slip stitch in the first, chain 1 space, and close this. Now make sure that this does not twist. Okay, let's make sure that we keep this straight, and then we're going to go ahead and slip stitch in this first chain space and pull through there. You should have a very small loose end here, and we'll work with that later. And so we're going to begin the first round. Chain 3. Your chain 3 is going to act as your first stitch, your first double crochet. And then immediately in the next stitch, we're going to put 1 double crochet as well. We're going to chain 1. You're going to skip 1 stitch and go into the next stitch and work 1 double crochet. And in the next stitch, 1 double. And I'm working on the bumps so that I have a seamless edge. And this is going to be your repeat. You're going to chain 1, you're going to skip 1 and work 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. Skip 1, 2 double crochets, skip 1, and that is the repeat. So let's go into that stitch. We're going to work a double crochet and then another double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and in the next 2 stitches we're going to put 1 double crochet in each. And this is the repeat for the rest of this row. So work through the row and I'll meet you at the end of this round. That's what your work should look like. We're working 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches, skip 1, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1. So that is your repeat. Okay, let's keep working through to the end of the row. As you work, that's what your pattern looks like. Let's work along all the way to the end of the row. You should be coming to the end of your round. We are still working 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and that's your repeat pattern to the end of the round. So you should have a total of 24 2 double crochets and 24 chain 1 spaces. Okay, that's what your work should look like. And this is the neck portion of your poncho. So let's go ahead and slip stitch to the top of your chain 3, your starting chain 3 here. So let's go ahead and slip stitch here to close your round. And then go ahead and slip stitch to the next chain 1 space once. So you've closed up. This is going to be the neck portion of your poncho. So let's go ahead and work on the next round. Chain 3. Your chain 3 is always going to act as your first double crochet. Then work another double crochet into that chain 1 space. This is going to be one of the corners of our work, okay? And I'm going to show you what that is. So on this particular poncho, it's going to be this portion here, this here, and then we'll have another one at the back, okay? That is the neck portion of your poncho, and that is what we're working on right there. We will be working in the round, which makes it easier. So chain 1. We are always going to chain 1 in between each of our working stitches. In the next chain 1 space, you're going to work a V-stitch. Your V-stitch is going to be 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. So let's do that. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's your V-stitch. Chain 1. In the next V-stitch, we are going to work 3 puff stitches with a chain 1 in between each of them. Okay, so let's go. To make your puff stitch, you're going to yarn over, go into that space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through. You should have 2, 4, 6, 7 stitches on your hook. You're going to pull through 6. You'll have 2 left. Pull through those 2, chain 1. Work another puff stitch in the same space. Chain 1 and then 1 more puff stitch. These are your 3 puff stitches, all worked into the same space with chain 1s in between. Chain 1, and in the next chain 1 space we're going to put a V-stitch, which is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, then chain 1. In the next chain 1 space we're going to work 3 puff stitches with chain 1s in between. Then chain 1. The next space we're going to put a V-stitch, chain 1, a puff stitch cluster into this chain 1 space, chain 1, and then the last puff stitch. So your 3 puff stitch cluster will be worked in alternating chain 1 spaces. You should have from here to the next corner 5 sets of puff stitches. So we still have 2 more to go. In this next space we're going to be working a V-stitch, chain 1, and then a puff stitch cluster, if I'm moving too fast you can slow down the video or pause it. Next space is a V-stitch, then 1 more cluster of puff stitches. Remember you have a chain 1 in between each of the puff stitches. Chain 1, and then we're going to put a V-stitch, chain 1. So you should have a set of 5 clusters of puff stitches. We started with 2 double crochet, chain 1, a V-stitch, a cluster of puff stitches, a V-stitch, puff stitches, V-stitch. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to work onto the back corner here. We're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets in the same space. That's 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, and in the same space we're going to work 2 more double crochets. So whenever we come to the corners, I don't know if I should call them corners, but the back and the front portion that drapes low, we are gonna work our V-stitch with 2 double crochets and a chain 1 only instead of chain 2. So onto this side, chain 1, we're gonna do the same thing we did on the other side, work a V-stitch and then a set of puff stitches, chain 1, and repeat. That's your repeat. So let's work our puff stitches here, a cluster of 3. Okay, chain 1. We're going to put a V-stitch into the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, puff stitch cluster, chain 1. Let me move this yarn on the side. It's not pulling through the way I want it to. There we are. Okay. One more puff stitch into the same space. Chain 1, a V-stitch, chain 1. So once you come to the beginning of your round, you're back to where you had your 2 double crochets, and this is where the back end of your work is. We're going to work 2 double crochets into the same chain 1 space. So this was our last V-stitch here, chain 1, and then work 2 double crochets at the beginning chain 1 space. And then to close your round, you're going to work a half double crochet to close it. Your half double crochet goes at the top of your chain 3 space, and so that's where we are. We are always going to begin in your chain 2, your 2 double crochet V-stitch location, which is basically your corner. So if you lay your work down, this is what it should look like. This would be what your poncho is going to look like. That's the neck portion. And so this will work all the way down. This is a 2-row repeat, so we're going to go to the second row repeat. And once we're done with the second row, that's pretty much what you're going to be doing. You're going to be working row 2 and 3 over and over for as much as you want your poncho to grow. Okay, so let's go ahead and chain 2. I'm sorry, not chain 2. We just closed our round, so chain 3. Your chain 3 is your first double crochet, and then work 1 more double crochet into the same space, and then chain 1. And in your V-stitch, you're going to work another V-stitch with a chain 2 in between. So into that space, we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets into the same space. And then chain 1. And in the chain 1 spaces of your puff stitches is where we're going to work. You're going to put a single crochet there, chain 3, and then into the next chain 1 space, you're going to put a single crochet, chain 1, and then you're on to the next V-stitch. For every one of the V-stitches, we are going to put a V-stitch with a chain 2 and 2 double crochets. This is the V-stitch you're going to be putting now in the previous V-stitch from the previous round. So we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the same chain 1 space from below. And then chain 1. In this chain 1 space, we're going to put a single crochet, chain 3, and then into the next chain 1 space, we're going to put a single crochet, chain 1, and then we're back to the V-stitch, and we are working 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, chain 1. Remember, you're chaining 1 in between every cluster of a V-stitch, as well as the puff stitches, as well as your chain 3s. Okay, and that's what gives it that lacy look. That's what it looks like. So let's go ahead and work a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 1, and then a V-stitch, 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and this is your repeat until we get to the next corner. So let's keep working. That's what it should look like at this point. For this round, you're working a V-stitch with 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then you're working a chain 3 with single crochets in between each of your puff stitches. And this is your repeat. So we will repeat row 2 and row 3 over and over. So let's go ahead and first finish this and get to the next corner, which is going to be right here. So let's walk through this, and I'll put this back down just a little bit more. Okay, so you should be coming to that corner, chain 1, and then we're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now we're not chaining 2 in the corners here. I'm calling them corners because this is the front and the back portion, right? And so while you're chaining 2 here, you are not doing the same in the corners. In the corners, you're only going to work 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then another 2 double crochets. Chain 1, and then in this V-stitch, the single V-stitches, you're going to work 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. It's only in the corners that you're going to be doing your 2 double crochets, chain 1, okay? Remember, if you chain 2, it's going to throw your work off balance, so do not be tempted to chain 2. It's going to throw your work off balance. I know, because I tried it as I was working on this particular pattern. So keep it to a chain 1, and this makes a world of a difference. And then continue the rest of your work. We're going to be working a chain 1 here. A single crochet, chain 3, then a single crochet, chain 1, and you're back to your V-stitches. You're putting 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets for the rest of the round. And so this is basically a 2-row repeat for the rest of the pattern. So let's keep working until we get to the next peak. So as you can see, this is what your work should look like. And if I turn it to face me, let's take that off. This is what it's going to look like as you start to work. It starts to fold. This here is the front, and that is the back. And as you can see, it's chain 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and it creates that V. Let's keep working to the end of the round. Okay, we're back to the beginning of the round, and we're going to work 2 double crochets in that chain 1 space from the beginning of your row, and then we're going to close by working a half double crochet at the top of your chain 3 to close this up. Okay, let's go on to row 4. You're going to chain 3, always chain 3, that's your first double crochet, and into the same space work another double crochet. So we're going to repeat row 1 now, chain 1. I'm sorry, we're going to repeat row 2, the puff stitches. In this chain 1 space here, we're going to work our first V-stitch, chain 1, and now in the chain 2 spaces here, we're going to put our puff stitches. You're going to put a cluster of 3 puff stitches in the chain 2 space. Chain 1, and then in this chain 3 space is where you're going to put the next V-stitch. This round is the V-stitch round with a single crochet in between, which is also the puff stitch round. So when you think about your project, think about every puff stitch round has a V-stitch with a single crochet and 2 double crochets in between. So we're going to work a V-stitch with double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. So this round that has the puff stitches is always going to have a V-stitch that is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And then the next row will have a V-stitch that has 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets with single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the chain 1 spaces of the puff stitches. Okay, so let's work this round to the end. After your V-stitch, we're chaining 1 and we're into the chain 2 V-stitch, and this is where we work our cluster of puff stitches. So we are working 3 puff stitches with chain 1 in between. Chain 1, we're working a V-stitch in the chain 3 space that we worked on top of the puff stitches from the previous round. Right there, this chain 3 space is where you're putting your V-stitch, and then in your chain 2 V-stitch here, we are working the puff stitch cluster. It's pretty simple, really. It's a very simple repeat pattern, 2-row repeat, and this builds also very fast. Now, I work fast, so if this is moving too fast for you, you can slow it down, pause it, but I'll try and go slow in this round so that you can follow along. So if I'm going too fast, basically we are working your puff stitches, depending on how you hold your hook. For me, it doesn't matter, I interchange them. So you're working your puff stitch here, you have 3 clusters of puff stitches in this space with chain 1 in between each of the puff stitches. Chain 1, work a V-stitch in your chain 3 space, chain 1. You notice we're chaining 1 every time. Then we're back to the puff stitch. And the puff stitch is really what gives it this really neat, lacy, fruity feel to it. It's really a beautiful shawl or poncho. This is a poncho, but there's a shawl piece to it as well. So that's what your work should look like. Let's keep working on this. So after working a few rows, This is what the work looks like. Let's finish this puff stitch here. Chain 1. So this is what your work should look like. Let's turn this around so you can have a better look at it. So remember, this is the front of your poncho, and these are your corners, and you see this is chain 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, and you see it creates a very unique pattern right here, right? And then this side has all the puffs and the chains, and it has that lacy feel to it. Can you see? Let's move this a little farther. There you are. So that's what it looks like. So let's keep working some more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 rows. We want to work a total of 30 rows and then come back and see if that's the size we want. Okay, so let's work up to 30 rows for your poncho, and let's come back and take a look at this tomorrow. And this is part 1 of the poncho. Part 2 tomorrow will be after we've completed the body, and we're going to work on putting the fringes on. And then part 3 will include the neck portion, which is also going to have a very unique pattern to it. And we're going to have this really unique breast cancer awareness poncho. Thank you for staying with me today. Continue working on these, and tomorrow we will work on the fringes and see how big your poncho is. Make sure you get to row 30. I will see you in my next video. Do not forget to subscribe if you're new to my video, and I welcome you. For my subscribers that are already subscribed, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up, a comment please, and share with someone who is still learning, or if you can teach somebody and they are not getting it, get them onto my channel. I would love that a lot. But do give me a thumbs up, comment below, and share. If you want to buy the poncho, particularly after we are done, you can buy it. My shop link is in the description box below. Share with me on my social media links. I have X, I have Twitter. Well, X is now Twitter. I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have Pinterest. Please do share, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.